So we wanted to conclude the Damodar Leela today, and this is the final part where we looking at how Mother Yashoda again becomes reunited with Krishna, because at the moment there's a little bit of a fallout, um, and now Balaram and Rohini have come back. So let's see what happens. So, when Krishna went between the two trees, the motor got stuck. Hang on a sec. Sorry. Yeah, so we done that bit. Now, Mother Yashoda, Rohini and Balaram come. Yashodamai embraced Rohini Devi. So Rohini is the mother of Balaram, crying uncontrollably. News of the fallen trees had already reached them. However, Rohini Devi did not expect this. Why was Yashodamai so distraught? She turned to Balaram and asked him to bring his brother to the palace. That's Rohini. Rohini knew that Yashodamai's sorrow can be cured by the embrace of Krishna. Handsome Balaram ran down the hill. He was looking for the legendary Arjun trees. Where are they? In the meantime, Yashodamai was inconsolable. Only when the joyful Vrajavasis entered the palace with Krishna was she able to compose herself enough to go to her apartment and lock herself in. Nand Baba wanted to purify his son from the day's misfortune and decided on a bath in the Yamuna. As they walked hand in hand to the river, Balaram caught up with them and embraced Krishna. He asked Krishna a barrage of questions. What is this new name you have? Damodar. Why did mother tie you up? Did you really pull down these trees? Krishna was reserved. Just when he needed his brother the most, he wasn't there. He felt abandoned and would not respond in his usual affable self. Balaram was taken aback by Krishna's sulky mood, but with a wink from Nanda Baba, he told him to be patient. The three of them went to Rajghat, accompanied by singing Brajvasis and mantra chanting Brahmins. After bathing and performing purificatory ceremonies in the ghat, Krishna and Balaram distributed gifts to all those who were present. After this, they went back to the palace, wondering if there would be any dinner. Remember, Krishna had by now missed several meals. So they started early morning, finished late evening, just before sunset. So it's almost 12 hours. Of course, dinner was ready. Rohini reminded Yashodamai that her son had not eaten since morning, and even that was an unfinished meal. As sad and embarrassed as she was, Yashodamai immediately set about the task of organizing dinner. She guided her maidservants and friends to the palace kitchen and cooked herself. Meanwhile, Rohini Devi set the table in the grand dining hall, presuming there would be many guests for dinner. After the meal was prepared, Yashodamai again felt the weight of guilt and retired to her own chambers, uh, which she locked. Even a moment seemed like a lifetime to Yashodamai, who was waiting until fate would again reunite her with Krishna. As dinner was ready, Nanda Baba and his sons, together with the guests, entered the dining hall and were happily discussing the day's events. In the meantime, Yashoda Mai remained seated on the edge of her bed, staring at the door, waiting for Krishna to open it. But he did not. After dinner, Nanda Baba took Krishna and Balaram to the cowshed to oversee the milking of the cows. There was especially a beautiful white cow, which Nanda Baba would personally milk. Today, he showed the two boys how to milk this majestic cow. He filled a bucket of milk from her, then gave milk to the two boys and also to Krishna's friends who were with him. Today is Diwali, and there was to be an evening of festivities, but Nand Baba decided it was wiser to resolve the conflict between mother and son rather than attend the festivities. They headed back to the palace. The ladies informed that Yashoda Mai had not eaten nor was speaking to anyone and was feeling very sad. She was, of course, sad for tying up Krishna, but her sorrow increased 1,000-fold by her son's neglect of her. Nand Baba embraced his son and placed him on his lap and put the question to Krishna. Dear boy, these ladies say your mother is very sad. Will you go and appease her like a dutiful son? Krishna looked up at his father and replied assertively, No, I will not. From now on, I will always remain with you, father. The ladies asked Krishna, If you do not go to your mother, then whose breast will you suckle? Krishna was ready with an answer. I'm a big boy now. I will drink warm milk from the white monarch of my father's cows, just like I did today. Ladies said, Then with whom will you play? Who can entertain you in so many ways in which your mother is most apt? Krishna says, My father. I will play with my father. He is the empress of all gamesters. And I will play with Balaram as well. Krishna had forgiven Balaram because Balaram related to him that he was forced to go with his mother. And if he had stayed behind, Yashodamai would not have been able to tie him. He was, of course, overestimating his power in relation to Yashodamai's love for Krishna. There was no contest. So the ladies carried on. What about your brother's mother, Rohini Devi? Will you go to her? Krishna says, No, I will not go to her either. She abandoned me, as a result of which I was shackled all day. When Rohini Devi heard this from Krishna, tears welled up in her eyes. She loved Krishna even more than Balaram. Searching for some way to uproot his stubbornness, she appealed to Krishna's love for his mother. Oh, my son, how can you be so heartless and cause your mother such pain? Even Dhruv Maharaj forgave his stepmother, as did Lord Ram. Why can you not find it in your heart to do so? The authority of his father's support fueled Krishna's huff. Turning from Rohini Devi to Nanda Baba, Krishna buried his face in the father's loving arms. So he had no answer for that. Krishna is the answer for everything, but not that one. Anyway, Nand Baba embraced Krishna tightly. But he could sense that the boy still longed for the sanctuary of his mother's tender warmth and love. For Krishna, there was no embrace like that of Yashoda Mai. Even though he was certainly enjoying these rare, tender moments with his darling son, being free of any trace of envy, Nand Baba devised a plan to conjure up Krishna's suppressed affection for his mother. Holding Krishna at arm's length, and in the tone of a royal proclamation, Nand Baba raised a slightly threatening hand and said, This is the diplomacy of a king. He's so wise, so intelligent. Son, say the word and I will give that woman a suitable thrashing. He didn't mean that, of course. As king of Braj, I cannot tolerate injustice. If a sin is perpetrated by one of my own family, I must act on it. Lodge a complaint and then just see what I will do. So this was brilliant, brilliant strategy, because Krishna loved Yashoda Mai more than anything. And to hear that the father may give her a hard time was too much for Krishna. Nand Baba's strategy worked like a charm. The very thought of anyone striking his mother obliterated Krishna's huff and brought tears to his eyes. Getting hold of Nanda Baba's threatening hand, Krishna shouted, No, no, you cannot. As a perfect strategist, the monarch unfolded the second phase of the scheme, appearing to ponder Yashoda Mai's past conduct and her present isolation. Nand Baba said, You are right, my son. Someone who put another in mortal danger should not be surprised if fate metes out the same punishment to them. Whoa. The ladies of the court gasped. That's a shocking thing to say. Krishna again called out, "No, that can't be. Never." Krishna was finally unable to tolerate separation from his mother, jumping off his father's lap, which delighted Nand Baba, and frantically cried, "Where is my mother? I have to go there. Where is she?" Krishna ran to Rohini Devi for shelter, repeatedly crying, "Where is mother? Where is mother?" Rohini Devi comforted the boy and embracing him, reassured him, "Do not fret, come with me, I will take you to your mother." After what seemed like eternity, Yashoda Mai saw her door open cautiously and silently. Only Rohini Devi and Krishna were so bold. It was both. As soon as Krishna saw his mother through his tears, Krishna ran weeping to Yashoda Mai, climbing onto her lap and wrapping his arms around her neck. The aggregate of all happiness in the world, when multiplied 1,000,000 times, could not match a drop of the ecstasy that Yashoda Mai felt with Krishna in her arms. And similarly, if the aggregate of all the love in the world was multiplied 1,000,000 times, it could not match a drop of the love that Krishna felt from Yashoda Mai's embrace. This is love at a different level. Mm. Holding each other heart to heart, they've both felt complete for each other. For each was a half of the whole that was their union. So together they were complete. Rohini Devi reminded Yashoda Mai that Krishna must be still hungry, as he had missed several meals. When Yashoda Mai heard the words, "Will you not feed your son?" she immediately came to external consciousness, and like a dutiful mother, she pleased Krishna with her breast milk. Rohini Devi had the dining table set by the maidservants in the privacy of Yashoda Mai's quarters and said to Yashoda Mai, "You must now dine with your son, and for he has been picking at his dinner without your presence." Hearing these words, Yashoda Mai finally rose to her feet with Krishna still in her arms, took a seat at the table. Balaram also came rushing to Yashoda Mai, and the queen embraced him with her free arm. For each morsel that Krishna ate from her blessed hand, Yashoda Mai would eat an equal amount. Krishna would say, "Mother, eat more." Yashoda Mai said, "If you eat more, I will match you." Krishna was won over. However, Yashoda Mai could hardly face her husband. She also feared the censure of the villagers. However, however, right now, those fears had to be put aside in order to serve Krishna. Krishna was tired. Balaram and Rohini took their leave, and Yashoda Mai lovingly held Krishna in her arms for some time. Then she placed him in the same bed from which he rose that morning. Krishna asked his mother to tell him a story. She told him the story of Dhruv, which Krishna, especially when Narad advised the little boy, and then gradually Krishna fell asleep. And Krishna loved that story, especially when Narad advised the little boy. You can chant this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and attain the Lord. For 3 days, Yashoda Mai remained in her chambers, afraid to appear before the king. At the start of breakfast on the 4th day, Nanda Baba requested his son, "My boy, your mother is sulking and has thus deprived us of her excellent services. Please go to her, and only in the way that you know how, ask her to once again grace us with her presence. We miss her terribly." So Nanda would take shelter of Krishna because he knew the relationship between Krishna and Yashoda was second to none. Krishna immediately went to fetch Yashoda Mai, and soon after he emerged with her, Yashoda Mai's face was flushed with embarrassment. But Nand Baba did not say anything negative to her, concluding that her pain in days of exile, was sufficient punishment. He said, "O goddess, whose glories are sung throughout this land and beyond, O you who are maternal affection personified, although you have eaten excellent We have eaten excellent preparations in the last 3 days. Without the touch of your lotus hand, even the best food has not satisfied us. No matter what Rohini Devi cooks, your whimsical son will not eat because it has not been served by you. Please save him from wasting away and thus save us all who live only for him. Yashodamai's eyes welled with tears, her heart flooded with bliss, and symptoms of ecstasy danced in every limb of her body. She had been forgiven, and she was back in the fold again. No need to be embarrassed anymore. In the days following the reconciliation of this divine family, the Bridgebasis continued to give moral support to both Queen and her darling son. The ladies hungered to help heal the wounds caused to both Yashodamai and Krishna from recent events. They would be like honeybees attracted to Krishna and the irresistible sweetness. His smile, his features, his speech, everything indescribably attractive to the senses, mind, and heart. Everything that he was or did was a novel, intoxicating, and every moment with Krishna was a festival of indescribable joy. And just as he had completely mesmerized the Bijbasis, Krishna was completely mesmerized by them. It's a two-way street. Yashoda Damodar ki jai. So that's the conclusion of Damodar Leela. It's extraordinary Leela, showing the sweetness of the Lord and the power of his devotee, Yashoda Mai, Nand Baba as well. So, any questions, any comments? Okay, we can stop there. Damodar Mant ki jai, Kartik Maas ki jai, Radha Damodar ki jai, Yashoda Damodar ki jai.